Check. 1, 2. Are we recording?
I
Are we recording?
think we're podcasting.
Oh, God.
We're trying to podcast. Hopefully this works, you guys.
Because
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Okay, now we're
recording the
podcasting,
video.
you guys.
Should we start over?
Let's start over.
Okay,
we're podcasting,
thanks for joining us at the hashtag I'm on
We'll
so hard
explain.
podcast. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also find us probably on YouTube.
Any of the
hopefully
socials,
on Twitter,
you guys.
TikTok, Instagram. Follow us on Facebook.
Come see our live show.
Come see our live show, which we're having
It's
literally
great.
the most fun
and
doing.
Dudes are coming. A lot of dudes are coming.
But that sounds. But
dudes are coming because it's a hot show, you guys.
But I just want to say for the record right now, the fact I'm going to brag. And I don't think I'm a braggy person. I'm going to see I got
it's not
nervous.
about
It's not about my dance moves
okay.
or my overall
That's
ability
usually
to
what the brag is the dancing.
or just my straight up skills
are a
of
good
hitting on
dancer.
someone. I am
Yeah.
a good dancer.
Yeah. Her
Many
tools
of those
seduction.
my tools of seduction
They're
and
on
my
point, you guys.
the irony in that comment. But the fact that you and I are sitting here right now podcasting, somebody needs to come give us a medal.
It's a coup.
Like,
you
this
guys.
has been the most insane, and we're not going to complain because that's one thing that Jen and I try not to do, but we are going to vent the fuck out of this episode.
We're a ghost ship right now is basically what's happening. Hold on, Casey, I got to mute you too.
Look.
Wait.
Can you guys look down in the middle of the screen? You see little tiny Casey's head?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. She's on FaceTime.
There's a plague in both of our homes.
There's a plague in both our houses.
We're recording. That's the most important thing.
Yep,
So
we're going to record. I'm going to probably get a text from my son. You go first, Jen. Tell him how it went down in the old
what's happening.
Eugene, Oregon.
Okay, so we leave to go do the show. We leave.
And we're very excited because this is a 3-dayer, so it's not crazy hard, and we both have been working really, really hard the last couple of days.
It's been crazy.
You had Delilah's birthday party. It was just like
It was the 4th.
a lot.
We had family in town. Kristen's moving into her back house because she's demoing. I'm sure you've seen the video. It's a lot. It's more than normal.
Lot.
So
getting to leave was
Yeah.
like, I
We were
feel
like,
good about
"Ooh,
this.
I'm gonna breathe a breath
Cocktails.
of fresh air. My kids were staying with the super nanny, Abby, and
First time ever that your husband happened to be out of town the same time as you.
time.
We have Abby, who's awesome.
We literally got dropped off at the airport at the exact same time, same car to leave town. He's going to be gone for 10 days, and as soon as we land, I get a phone call.
Of course.
Delilah has COVID.
Yeah, nightmare.
She was, I would never have left her if I would have thought she was sick. She was fine. But that always happens. I told my husband, I go, you know how I always used to say I drop you off at the airport and the kids get sick and you think I'm like being
dramatic or
No.
like, oh, things are hard. That's how it
proof.
works.
That's how quickly it happens.
That's why there's anxiety whenever you leave as a mom to go anywhere because you think that formula is always going to work. So that's why I don't think a lot of moms take mom trips or stuff because they're like, oh, guaranteed the second I leave, they're going to get COVID or break their leg or something terrible is going to happen. Here's the thing that's going to, you survive. We're surviving.
Okay, here's what happened. Delilah gets COVID. Everybody's testing.
I happen to have 2 tests in my bag.
Yep.
So Jen says, oh God, Delilah's got COVID. I was like, come down. Let's do a test. We both test negative. We've tested 55,000 times.
But
since.
Kristen really does test a lot, for like the kids, like everybody's testing a lot, but she like whips these tests out, does it for me. Like she works for the CDC or something, does a couple drops. She's like, you're fine. I was like, we didn't wait the required.
I gotta tell you, I like running the tests.
You do?
I do.
I can see that. Yeah.
I've got a thing about like, there's something about running a test or like, maybe it's like that teacher in me, or maybe there's a little bit of nurse in me. It depends. Yeah. But I like.
Maybe you were a nurse in a past life, like I was a doctor.
I would be the most growly nurse. My husband would be like, you would be the worst nurse ever because you would never feel bad for anybody. You would just boss them around and make them take their medicine. I'm like, you mean nurse them?
Every nurse?
You mean every nurse you've ever met?
Unless
who's like, stop being a giant pussy.
Unless you're a pediatric nurse, they're like, I've heard everything. Just shut up and take your medicine.
Take your medicine.
Yeah.
Stop being a big baby.
Can I point out too, if you are watching this on YouTube, I am exceedingly shiny because I have just been running around sweating like crazy. And because my husband is still out of town while I am nursing these kids back.
Okay, go back.
Okay, so
we're in Eugene. We find out we're negative.
We're negative.
But we have to play the game of how do we get Jen home after we do our show in Santa Rosa as fast as we can. Meanwhile, not to add insult to injury, but I, on the other hand, have my wonderful cousins who I like to refer to as my rich cousins,
Yeah.
the ones with money, picking me up and spoiling me in their giant house with a new pool and lasagna and delicious
Yeah,
wine.
they're rich in money and joy, actually.
And they're rich in money and
Yeah.
joy, and they made everything great. But Jen had to try to get on a plane
At
like
4 in
4
the
a.m.
morning. So we've been, okay, so let's go back. We're negative. I leave at like 4 in the morning.
We do our show in
God
Santa
bless
Rosa.
Brady
Rosa.
Bunch. He
So
does-
fun.
Yeah. We had these great shows. Awesome. Go back to the hotel, get 3
God,
hours
that must
sleep.
have been hard.
You know what? Your
Did
mom
you
brain
even really
kicks in.
sleep?
Not really. No, I didn't kind of sleep the whole entire time.
I
'cause
know, I was
kept
worried
checking on
too.
her, and like it was because we haven't had it yet. We don't know how the kids would react. They've got all their shots. Love the shots. Don't care. No,
Yeah.
you can tell me I'm going to grow an arm out of my back, and I don't give a shit at this point.
Because it's proving to work that
Yeah.
people are not going to the hospital. And it's not a cure. It's never intended to be a cure, but it is making the symptoms a little lighter. And like we're seeing a very different COVID than what I call OG COVID and
Yeah.
COVID now.
Okay, so I get back literally. I don't even think I told you this, Kristen. I get back at like 8:15 in the morning that morning.
Wow.
Walk in the door. My son runs to the front door in his underwear and goes, "I'm positive too!" Like he was
Oh,
excited about it or
God.
something. So that's what happened the second I got home. Delilah felt better immediately. She was
She was
fine.
like, because their little bodies are just like these machines, and everybody takes it differently. Like I really think
don't.
that's the scary part of COVID is there
Yeah,
are
you
these
don't
like
know.
you don't know. Some of the things are standard, and then there's like a new thing that you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a part of this.
So she all she had was she was lethargic for a few days.
Yeah.
She had a fever the first day, felt like achy
Yeah.
for 2 days. Then she tested negative.
Wow, that was so fast.
It was like 4 days from
Wow.
she got her positive to negative. But in the meantime, Dash got it. I think you guys, here's a non-scientist talking. If you want to hear some bullshit witch people talking about COVID, I think my daughter drinks so much water that's what.
Oh God.
It was either that or I don't know. I think she probably got it outside because we've done
Who
a lot
knows?
of outside things. Whatever,
Your
I
body
don't know.
just processes it the way it's going to, and hopefully the science behind the vaccination just makes it so it's not so sucky.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, here's some other non-legit science for you. So Abby got OG COVID like twice because she's in Nebraska. I know all you
Yeah.
had it 8 times.
Yeah, you guys
You're
are like, let's
Hey,
have a
COVID's
barbecue.
fine. I've gotten it 14 times.
Yeah,
I'm still doing
I'm
great,
fine.
you know? So she's had it and she's vaccinated. So these kids were all in her faces. She was like, if I get it,
God
I
bless
know.
her. That is the blessing that you had her here because you
So
felt
lucky.
you could just focus on doing the show, get on
Yeah.
that plane, get home, take care of those
Yeah.
babies.
So she's still testing negative. We're
That's
testing every
amazing.
day. I'm testing negative.
I'm testing negative.
Dash is getting his ass kicked though.
I know.
In the morning, he's got what? Okay, so you
Okay.
tell your part, and we'll.
Well,
give
there's
updates.
more to it than I let on. I'm gonna start with something I didn't know happened that happened. Okay. And if you guys are listening with your kids, this would be the time to not let them listen because I'm about to go
Oh my
boldly
God,
where
great.
many women shouldn't. I don't want you to have to go.
Let's just say I'm going to start swearing soon. If you've got the kids out of the way, because I got a lot of
Yeah, we've got a lot. We're going to cuss. We're going to talk gross stuff. But
Yeah.
first of all, here's how it went down. Do you remember? Okay. In our live show, I wear a bodysuit. I do not fit this bodysuit that well.
Oh no.
And I 100% had it on backwards. Now, the snaps in that bodysuit are ill-placed. And
Did
in
you
the
snap
show,
something in there.
in the show, we do a bit where we pull up our pants, but I was too aggressive. And I don't know if you remember me going, God, this thing's more uncomfortable than I remember. And
Oh, no.
I hurt my pee-pee somewhere down there.
Wait. Okay. So she's
remember
not
when I told you I got a little bit of a
labial tear.
labial tear during a wakeboarding incident?
Yeah, not doing anything fun.
the-
Well, wakeboarding's
well,
pretty
well,
fun, but just not
not
what you'd
when
expect.
you're not.
Yeah.
No. So got that situation. Thought things were okay. I think I did something to it again. I've blown myself out basically.
Okay.
So on top of that, I'm like, God, my my private area really hurts
So
right
she's
now.
not really great with the geography down there. So
No.
is it up by where you pee or is it back by where you
Poo-poo.
or is it where you party? Is it pee party or poo?
That's the problem. As you were saying this, you were traveling that. I don't know how to answer that
She doesn't
question.
know which direction.
I just
Okay.
know that there is a part that is supposed to be covered by your underpants and
Hanging out.
can be. Sometimes.
Oh!
Hey, you know what? That's disgusting. And I didn't mean to give it that. My face is bright red right now. Look, all I know is I hurt my Gigi. And on top of it, as I'm like sitting at the counter of our back house that is packed full with all of our shit while we have a demo going on. So we have 14 men tearing apart our house with like dust and whatnot. I'm sitting wondering how I blew out my downstairs. My son comes downstairs and goes, Mom, I feel like I have the worst cold ever. And I go, oh God. So I grab a test and it was like before that thing even hit his nose. It was like bing, 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 bing.
Honestly, it goes across, the liquid goes across the test line to the control. It was like, I was like, wait, is that the control line?
I'm
No,
like,
that's
what
the
is that?
test line. It was
So then
dark
I
from-
test myself and I'm negative. And Eleanor, who gets to do this little performance thing, which I'll tell you about on another episode, but she's been working so hard to get to this last 2 days. And I wanted her to see it through so bad. I'm like, Eleanor! So I test Eleanor. She's negative. And I'm like, I don't know if this is all the dumbest heavy lifting I've ever done. But my goal is to keep her negative and to quarantine Finn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
People
we're
are
in
doing
a
it.
tiny ass house.
They're in their back house.
We're in our
'cause
back
they're
house.
doing demo.
And
And I just want to catalog everything that's happening here, you guys. So we've got
a demo.
demo.
Her hoo-ha.
We've got a blowout in the choo-choo. We got a choo-choo train
Choo-choo
accident.
train. Just a little off the rails. I think
Yeah.
as it heals,
She
it
blew out
will-
the rails is what it sounds like, is that the rails have an issue. And then
Ugh.
kid with COVID.
Kid with COVID and one kid without COVID and two parents without COVID.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be damned if I have to get COVID. And I know, look, I think everybody's always like, where'd you get it? How'd you get it? Whatever. And all this, like, kind of on this weird psychology that starts to happen. But I'd like to blame the camp that I'm sending my kids to because we were late to the game on camp. And this is not only are they going to get COVID, they're going to learn how to build a bong. I'm 100% sure that everyone's like,
yeah. We're talking
have you ever
bottom,
seen freebasing?
bottom of the barrel, camp situation.
Yeah.
That was not me tooting. It was my air conditioning kicking
But
on. By
it
the
might
way,
be me.
I am expecting an Amazon return guy to come to the door and
And a
interrupt us at any
Chipotle
moment.
guy.
Because
And
why not, you
why not?
guys? All we're trying to do is podcast. Well, samesies, similar. Don't
Right.
be embarrassed because with my husband out of town, nursing two kids, like the example is by 6:30 the other day
Oh.
on Tuesday, I had already gone and gotten eardrops for my son, changed two sets of sheets.
It's so hard.
Because we've got not just the cold situation. We had 2
The
days
drainage.
of like, out of butts.
Oh.
Yeah. We've had barfing. I have anybody have any tips on how to get barf smell out of a MacBook? Please let me know because I'm trying to I don't know if you can smell it right now, Kristen, but it's in there. I'm going to take it in there and be like,
Oh.
they're going to open it and
That's
go,
one
we
thing.
see the
It
problem.
was literally like Finn just had like goo coming
Yeah.
out. And of course, I don't know why. This is when my 11-year-old was like, we've been wearing masks and washing our hands all the time for the last 2 years, but I've suddenly forgot how to do both of those things simultaneously. So I'm yelling at him as well as trying to take care of him. I'm like, use a Kleenex if you're going to sneeze. For the love of God, stay in your zone. Put on your mask. I know that makes me sound crazy, but I'm trying to protect the other kid.
Yeah.
Who is at times nicer to me.
But also, I mean, Dash wakes up. He has today's the first day he hasn't. 3 days in a row, he wakes up screaming. His ears are so congested.
Oh, that's a terrible feeling.
He takes the multi-symptom at night, which works pretty well, and it gets him to sleep. So I'm not going to wake him up. I
Right.
did a forehead thing in the middle of the night to check and see what.
I know.
how
I'm
the
wearing like a
temp's
tool
doing.
belt. I'm like, give me your head. I'm going to do your
like,
temperature.
all these different like fever reducers and stuff like that. But he wasn't eating anything either.
Yeah.
So I had to go get him. I got him donuts. They work. No
Hey, man,
doctor's going to
who
recommend
cares?
that. But sugar's kind of good for your tummy if you're nauseous.
I do not
sometimes,
care.
too.
My kid's going to eat a box of Apple Jacks, and not because I'm worried about his sugar intake. I just want him to be occupado because this last 5 days has been hell.
like doing tournament eating of like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's
Oh
so
my
goddamn
God,
good.
same. But the thing is like, I love my son. I don't think a mother ever has to say that. But when you're locked in a small house with them for 5 days, you get on each other's nerves.
Oh,
I feel like we're lost at sea and no one's coming to help me.
Well, that's what I was gonna. I'm really doubling down with my son. When he sneezes, he's doing the elbow, but I go,
You
go
gotta
in
and
blow
wash
your nose
and wash your
and then
damn
wash your
hands.
Yeah, because I'm also like, your ears will hurt less. Sneezes are
Yes.
God's gift to clear out your head and your face and your
sometimes
ears.
your lower.
And also
I gotta be
that
careful
happens
about
too.
sneezing right now because I don't need anything
If
else.
you
given
think
pressure
I
down there.
won't, well, I'm just going to send you home with some like butterfly stitches. I'm not going to give them to you. Those little plastic ones. That
I
you
was like,
put on.
what a good friend. She just offered to butterfly stitch my train track.
If there was some reason you couldn't reach it on your own with a
I
hand
know you'd
mirror
go
or
in there.
something, but
Look, what that is the least of my concerns,
what
but
you
it
should
is an
do?
irritant.
sit on like a cold pack.
Do you know what? That's a great idea. If I ever sat down,
True.
my husband or my son is literally like leaving just a trail of COVID wherever he goes, and
Yeah.
I'm following with sanitary wipes and like all those like, and my hands look like I'm 110 years old because I'm like the crypt keeper because I've got those Clorox wipes in my hands
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
And you know, like I'm not a over cleaner. I'm fine with everything being fine. But now I'm in the floorboards. Like I've all of a sudden got like high strung OCD a little bit. And also I'm concerned, like obviously we've had 2.5 years of worrying about what this thing would look like or
Yeah.
feel like if we got it. And now that it's in the house, I'm like, oh God, we've got a neighbor, John, who he's had cancer 3 times. You can't go near him. We've got an
Yeah.
entire demo crew. I don't want you to take them out because we're paying them. We've
Yeah.
got like my daughter who has been working so hard for this thing. We've got her at a hotel
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Yeah.
I know that's crazy, but
no.
I just got to keep everybody. And then the biggest thing is you and I are leaving for Costa Rica on
Yeah.
August 1st. And I'll be damned if COVID gets me before then. I swear to God.
Nope. not
I'll
gonna
wrap
happen.
everybody. I'm going to wrap my face in saran wrap. And that's how I'm going to do
Well,
my life.
2 things I want. Let's go back to how we feel like we are witch scientists again, and we have
Yeah.
our own immunity. But I want to say that I have not.
Oh God. There's no real wood around here. So you're going to say something and I'm not going to be able to knock wood.
No,
Because that's
there's-
from IKEA.
There's wood underneath, right there. I did it for you.
That's still.
It might be.
That's not. I don't think that's wood.
It's press board. It's particle board, but there's
Oh, that's
something.
wood.
Oh, the wall. Yeah. So, I do. What was I going to say? Oh,
You were gonna say-
I have cleaned the living hell out of my house, except not for my body. I told Kristen this morning that I didn't get a shower until my body hair started to itch. Like any place where you shave, I was like, what's going on here? Like
I'm fully not wearing a bra and I'm wearing shorts that are way too short, but I also needed
she's
them
got
to
to
be
air
loose.
out that
I gotta-
situation too.
I blame the sexy.
Oh, they are short.
I blame the
Cute.
sexy underpants I had to
think
buy at a.
your pajama bottoms.
I think they're
But I
pajama
don't
bottoms.
care. Who
I
cares?
don't care.
What-
I
what-
can't care.
What, you're not going to go in someplace and
And if I do, they can all fuck
Yeah.
off.
Good.
I'd like to share with them my train track
Yeah.
story if they come at me.
why does that lady keep coming in here and buying a big pack of water from the bottom shelf in those shorts, man? Our security guys, is she back? Can we readjust that camera?
Why does she
'Cause-
keep buying ice packs and water?
well, she's
why-
the
why
weirdest
does she
thing.
buy a
She
donut?
opens it when she throws it in the cart and sticks a bottle in her pants. I've heard of people opening it and drinking it before they leave the store, but we need to change our policies.
What's happened to her? Shut up! Wakeboarding in 2004.
Yeah, she's reopened that.
You know what? I'm doing.
wound. Oh, sorry.
If anybody has had an injury to their hoo-ha, you know.
I
And
did-
I think that's called also equates to childbirth.
Yeah, I fell on my dad's bike when I was 8.
I know.
And
It's so the
I thought I
least.
didn't cut that thing off, and then it was awful.
It's the worst. Like it's always like boys. Like they're like you take one in the chooch.
No, I know.
You're bending over.
Let's
too.
be honest, though, because when men get sick, this is a trope. Like, it's 10 times as bad as when a woman gets sick, quote unquote, according to them. Is getting hit in the balls that bad?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it
Okay.
feels like they've swallowed Colin explains it like it goes deep into your stomach and literally you just cannot breathe.
So
The testes. They're
So,
very
like, cramps
sensitive.
feel sometimes.
Yeah, like how cramps feel all the
Yeah.
time. So,
I don't know. Let's do
and
one
like
of those
they
pain test
really
things.
get one of those twice in their lifetime. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
one really hard.
how many
yeah.
times are guys taking it and then not saying? If it's more than one time, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, what are you doing? And
What
what
are
are
you
you
doing?
saying to people?
What are you doing? What are you saying? How many times are you going to a petting zoo?
Yeah, and
like,
by the way, wear athletic gear.
yeah,
like a
if you
cup
wear a
if you're-
cup, if you know you're gonna, if you're on your softball team, like that's on you.
I'm sure it hurts a lot. I'm just saying I
I
don't
think
know.
I need to wear a cup.
Well, I think that's not a bad idea for you, Kristen. You know what?
I'm disgusted.
I think it would keep that onesie thing you're wearing from riding up so much if you
I
had
gotta
something
do.
blocking it.
No, I can't. I just think I gotta wear it the right way. I think backwards really jack me
Okay,
up.
let's talk about Skims for a minute because she has me get one, and
I can't
get what-
figure it out.
I think it's the appropriate size, but literally what it does is it makes me look like, remember those like super strong beach guys
Yeah.
on like Popeye cartoons?
Yeah,
I have like a whole looks like a bicep that pops out of under my armpit.
I don't
It's so
understand it.
disgusting. It's almost like
Looks
it's made
should
to
go on
make things
Stretch
bulge out.
Armstrong.
It's crazy.
I know, and I bought it because it smooths me out a little bit, but I just haven't bought another one because I've been so freaking busy. And every time we do a show, I'm like, I gotta get a new bodysuit.
There's no branding. There's no like
The front-
You can't tell the
Stop
front
being.
from the back.
Listen,
She got that from
Kardashians-
Kanye.
Yeah,
Their
you know
house
what?
is
I
all
get it.
the same.
You're gonna make your house all beige, and I'm not gonna know where the door handle is or the sink. Fine on you. You're fancy, but you know what? When it comes down to a crotch injury, just tell me which way's forward and which way's backward. It's not that big of
Kim,
a deal.
it's simple. Tell me where to put
Put
it in my
my-
butt. I don't know. You understand what we're saying? Which part goes up the butt and which part goes up the front?
And if they look the same,
they're
you're
both
making it
uncomfortable.
wrong.
Yeah.
Also, maybe I'm not supposed to buy Skims, and that's fine.
No,
but
they're
it's
for
hard to-
everybody, aren't they?
It's
For
hard to
everybody, isn't that what she
everybody. I don't
says?
know. I think she would prefer that we buy it because we're the purchase power of this joint. Sorry, checking in on my kid's Uber Eats order. Nope, it's not there yet. Just checking. My son likes to text me nothing important, but I like
It's nice.
I like the sweet nothings, but
Yeah.
literally where he's like, "Hey, homie," and I'm like, "Did you mean to
He
text me?"
calls you homie.
And bro, I'm homie and bro. I've been
Hmm.
chasing this kid 24/7. And by the way, I am cuddly, but he's 11 and a tween, so we know where that's going. And he doesn't feel terrible right now. He's day 4. He's still testing positive. He doesn't feel terrible. That's when it's hard.
Yeah.
Because he's like, why can't I shoot hoops? And I'm like, you want to shoot hoops? Let's fold laundry.
That's exactly what I told Dash. He had a little little energy yesterday, and I
No.
go, "This is when it's going to be hard for you to be sick because you want to
want
do
him to-
something,
and you're
but
not
you're
gonna
gonna
do it."
Feel like hell if you do something."
I know. So I'm like, I'll teach you to fold a shirt appropriately, and you'll go back into feeling like you don't want to do much at all.
Sidebar, because you guys know I like to clean except for my body when I have anxiety, because if I'm not sleeping, I'm like, let me feel good about this time, kind of. So I've like,
oh my God, I can
literally
get on
redone
TikTok
my-
instead. It's so much better.
no.
I'm like, let me get out of
'Cause
this anxiety. Let me go look at
Delilah's
it.
sleeping with me. I can't. I can't.
I will say this to that point, to anxiety. This is something I didn't foresee happening, but of all of the people in my family, the one I was most concerned about getting COVID was Finn. Because if you remember before he was 4,
Yeah.
and they would fully diagnose it as asthma, Finn had to go into Children's Hospital 2 times and the
Yeah,
ER
it's so
2
scary.
times. And it wasn't good. It was very scary. He had a low oxygen rate, that he was not getting oxygen to his chest. I was more terrified
Yes. Then you.
I've ever
yeah.
been in my whole life. And
Your
there was one
baby?
time where Colin was out of town and I had to do it on my own. And then the second time I was on bed rest and Finn had to be in Children's, and he was just a little toddler, and he would do this thing where he would start to breathe funny and he would go, and then we would know we had to rush him in.
Ugh.
So I am on high alert for that sound.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, he has not had an episode since he was 4 years old. Doctor cleared him of asthma. He grew out of it. It's just this weird, like, his lungs are forming or he's figuring it out. And like, he hasn't had an ounce of it. But I was like, if that COVID comes back somehow in that
Yeah.
way, I'm going to be a disaster. So of course, all night last night, if I heard literally anything, I was like, just
Yeah.
waiting
That's
for
what-
that to
that's what
happen.
I
And
was-
now we're okay. But man, that's like easy to go back into that terrible space.
Yeah, that's why moms are built that way, because you'll wake up with the slightest noise, and men
Totally.
don't wake up if a hurricane goes through the living
Unless
room.
you're like, hey, do you want to fool around? And they're like, whoa,
Boing.
bing,
Yeah,
bing, bing,
right
bing.
away. But I think that's why women, like even Delilah isn't a really sound sleeper. Like she wakes up, and I think we're engineered that way. Again, I'm a witch scientist, and this is my theory.
Yeah, this is her witch
But
PhD. She got it online.
Women are always up like all the time, and they especially wake up for kids. And it's like, that's what I was gonna say. If you have a child that's in the hospital
Oh, God.
with a disease, or that's
An
chronically ill,
illness.
you'd never sleep, man.
You
You'd never
never
sleep
sleep.
because your brain would always be with them.
And you're always doing math.
if you're not physically.
You're
with
always
them.
doing math. You're like, okay, if this happens, how long does it? I think that's why I
Yeah.
like the testing and when Finn was going through all of that. I believe, God, my situation is not anywhere near any parent who's had to deal again with something chronic or terminal or serious. But you become like a medical professional in your
Area,
kid's
yeah.
field. You can check their oxygen. You get a stethoscope. You look for signs. I always look for Finn's coloring, because the second
Yeah.
he goes pale, I know something's up. His skin tells me everything. It's really amazing how mothers and women, they just start to go, okay, I am terrified, but I'm not going to lay on a pile on the floor. I'm going to learn.
Yes.
I'm going to figure this out and get in front
Yeah.
of it, and I'm going to do as much as I can. I know we've have friends who've
Yeah.
dealt with that, and it's amazing, women and mothers in general. And that's why
You
when
have to,
COVID
with
comes
no
around, we're
question.
like, you're gonna get in there and take care of your kid.
Yeah, and that's exactly what like it was so hard to get on that
Oh.
flight at 4 a.m. But I swear to God, it used to take me like if I had to get up at 4 or 5, still if I have to get up too early, like I got to stay up the whole night before,
Oh,
because there's
God.
no way I just can't do it. I'm a late to bed person. That's my deal. But
I'm an
I didn't
early
even
to
think about it. I was
bed.
like, let's get me home. I could have
Yeah.
ran at that point. I was so ready to
I
be
know
home.
you're just gonna do what you need to do to get home and take care of the babies. You
Yeah.
know, like you're just gonna put them first and yourself last. But then there's little shining moments where you're like, oh, that's right, my downstairs really hurts. I've been
Yeah.
doing nothing but using Clorox wipes and cleaning this house and taking care of somebody who's not very appreciative, might I add.
Oh God, no.
Meanwhile,
No.
there's been a situation,
Well,
a train track explosion.
I think that might be lunch.
Oh, I'm so hungry. I haven't
I
eaten
know.
anything. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have Chipotle, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back and take care of my son,
I
who
know.
I love.
I
But I will replay this for him. Replay. No, I won't, because it's got the train track
podcasts are
situation.
going to be like 8 tracks when he's 20.
Oh my God. is
Well,
that
when he's like
true?
30, when he could appreciate it, like when he's a parent, he'll be like, "Oh, they still." My daughter couldn't believe I had a record player. We were watching Fox and the Hound the other day, and I go, "God, I had this record. Remember Disney used to put
Yeah.
and
Of
she
course.
goes, "Whoa, you had records?" I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"How dare you?"
8 tracks are a deep cut. That's
I
like
know.
back in the day.
We had a truck at one point, or my grandpa did that had 8 tracks.
And they took up so much space. They were so big.
You can bring
They're
like
like,
4 with you.
You get
instead
4,
of
and
your
it's
spare
always going
tire.
to be
Yeah.
like the Oak Ridge Boys. Like, it's always like deep cuts.
I do have you want me
You
to
do your hot flash,
Okay.
because I've got a fun.
All right, I gotta
mom
find it
box.
on Instagram, you guys. I gotta go.
I've got my mom box here.
I got it. Oh, you got it.
I've got it. Mom box. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is from Catherine on Twitter. We don't give very many direct messages on Twitter, but I have a really good one. Okay, so this is in regards to our fireworks episode, which so many of you wrote so many things in, and the fact that video that we showed happened in Jen's neighborhood in Nebraska. Literally, if you haven't seen it, it's this guy sets up fireworks
B-Town.
underneath their minivan, and it's the most unbelievable thing you've ever
It's
seen.
Crazy.
So here is from Catherine on Twitter. Fireworks/fire department story. I grew up in a small town of like 1,000 people in South Carolina, and my friend Johanna lived in the next town over with a population of 80. We went to her family's land. Oh, you know, it's small town when they refer to it as land. We went to her family's land to shoot fireworks one Fourth. Long story short, we caught the neighboring woods on fire. Her brother Curtis, maybe 16 at the time, was like, I'll be right back, and showed up within 5 minutes with a fire truck. Luckily, every dude in the town with a driver's license was considered a volunteer firefighter.
So true.
And he had keys to the fire station and the antique fire truck that the town had. The family put out the fire and it was like no big deal. Returned the fire truck to the station and kept partying. I had completely forgotten about this until I heard your most recent episode. Love y'all.
That's
amazing. 100% absolutely how the South and the Midwest roll, where it's like, don't make a big deal of it. Just like, you know,
there's a fire.
There's a fire. Put it out.
Yeah. What are you gonna not do fireworks?
You go watch the grill. I'll go put out the fireworks on the fireworks fire on the land, and we'll get back and have burgers and dogs in a bit.
Hot flash, hot flash. Hot flash.
This is how Jen told me about her hot flash. She goes, I found another guy that I started following. And I'm like, that's always a good sign of a hot flash.
Yeah, I'll show you the video he posted yesterday, and
Okay.
you guys, you're gonna get it.
Casey, maybe you need to edit down some of my vaginal conversation. I feel a little...
No, I think everybody.
It's so unattractive. Right?
No, everybody's got one. Everybody can break one. That's just life. That's just life, you guys.
Oh, man. I remember when it wasn't broken.
How do I see who we're following? Okay,
Good God. How do you...
It should be up at the top, right?
She's 100 right now.
I am. I've even got my readers on trying to figure this out. A lot of antiques coming up. That's on me.
Jesus.
That's on me. Hold on.
There's Mrs. Doubtfire, definitely who
That's
we're looking
you.
for.
That's
me.
That's
God. That's more
Hold on.
like cheap old houses.
Let me find it.
Cheap international old houses. Just
Gosh.
cheap. And then, Dolly Parton. There we go.
All
Just so
this-
you know what our
we're
FYP
just-
page
yeah.
looks like. No.
No, it's on.
Should I go to my
Instagram.
guy? I have him like categorized and ready to
I love
go.
this guy. Okay, you do.
Yeah, hold on.
I wanted to show if I find him first, then.
Hold on. Yeah, I couldn't have found this faster. Done.
Okay, I lost. I'll have it ready
right.
for the next podcast.
I'm gonna have to have Casey say his name. Wait, hold on.
Here, I'm
I
putting you up to
believe-
the microphone. Look
Wait.
at how technical we are, you guys.
Hold on.
Wood chopping.
Just hold on. This guy's name is Bradley Thor.
what? No,
I don't think that's his name. What is it?
Thor Bradley. Say it again.
Thor Bradley.
No, you, Casey.
Why was hers so much better?
No, I just want them to hear that she's through the FaceTime on the phone. Yours was great, Kristen.
Thank
You're
you.
killing it.
Let me show you
At
him.
least you remember his name, kind of. I can't.
You kind of like.
What is that? What?
I
I usually don't like tattoos. at all.
I know. This guy has decided to make chopping wood a extracurricular activity. He always looks
Chopping
at the wood. He talks about his instrument, and then he gets busy. Generally, always wears suspenders. Does like an open crotch thing. He's playing Thor.
He does an open crotch thing. So do you.
Sorry, I'm
Well-
just like
So
panting. He chops wood. He goes out into the woods and he wears this like old timey. What would you say? Like pugilist? Like wait, is that right? Like he looks like he's like
kinda,
a 19.
Yeah.
You know, like a 40s
Just exactly
fighter.
like those guys I described in the Popeye cartoon, sort of.
Correct. But he's meant to be
It's like hipstery kind of
hipstery,
deal.
but not. It's not over the top. Okay, now hold on.
Wait,
where'd
can
he
I
go?
say something? Don't hit me. This is the kind of dude your sister'd be very into. She really loves a tattooed guy with a
I
beard.
guarantee she follows him.
Yeah.
Okay, now look. Oh,
Very
he's
smart
talking in this
girl.
one. I don't even care what he's saying. I'm just like, that shirt seems confining. You should take it off.
He's actually very lean, you guys. This guy must. He's got a lighthouse tattooed on his chest.
he
So
always-
my
he
mom
always-
would like that. She's very
This
into
is what I think
lighthouses.
everybody's into. He's always wearing like Carhort.
Car porn is what
Car
you're
porn.
saying.
Sorry, we got talking about overalls and I got
porn.
immediately. I think I need to stop doing this
Flustered.
because things are gonna hurt down there.
I know.
Look at that guy.
If you get too much swelling, you're going to be
His
in
name's
big
Thor
trouble.
Bradley. Bradley Thor. Who cares? He does a lot of ads, honestly. How much dough is that guy making? Oh my God. This is where he snaps a
Okay.
watermelon. Wait.
What it
He
is?
puts it between his legs and snaps. Oh, hold on. Look at him adjusting as though it is nothing. As though it is nothing. And he. Get it.
I
Go, go,
honestly-
go, go, go.
Whoa! Kristen is so excited. There was literally feedback on her microphone.
Sorry.
Like, I really do.
There's
I'm worried
feedback
about your,
everywhere.
I know.
Sorry,
I'm
we
worried
gotta
about you
take this down a
downstairs.
notch.
Now, I will
Sometimes
have,
he's in water.
I'll have the name of the hot dude next week.
We're
that I've
not
been
put
telling
together,
you,
you
about.
guys. You come here because you know we're
what you're
generally
getting.
we're not trying to pretend like we've got it together.
You're not coming here for any advice. You're coming here so you can see, like,
What?
maybe I'm not doing so terrible.
Maybe I'm not doing so terrible. And if that's how we made you feel today, well then
We've done our job.
we've done our job.
And you know what? I think we're done podcasting.
I think we're done podcasting. Be safe out there.
Stay well.
Stay well. Wish us
Look.
recovery.